as soon as I got kicked out, all my friends and family cut me off.
So you were 21 and starting completely fresh.
Start completely over.
New friends, new family.
I didn't get new friends or family for a while. Still, even if you're making a travel nursing job, which is 3x what normal nurses make, I'm never gonna be a millionaire.
If you think about it, you have this mentality like, I want to be a millionaire. You know, with 1 million followers, all you really need is $1.
Can you give an estimated amount of how much money it was in?
CEO InMotion. CEO InMotion. CEO InMotion. CEO InMotion.
So we're here, another episode of CEO InMotion with Lauren Drain.
CEO InMotion, let's go.
Let's do this. Wait,
Drive
how's
all
the
around.
AC? I know.
That's fine.
We both drive. I think we both live in Summerlin, don't we? At least I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I do.
And we
25-minute drive to get here, and you're absolutely right. Like, there's traffic. Did you see the car accident?
It's Christmas Eve, so I mean, we're driving by the strip. Like, this is the worst idea ever.
Well, it's actually like safer because you get to go slowly. I
Yeah.
mean, the whole thing is like we just.
And this car basically drives itself, right?
Yeah.
You can't get into an accident, can you?
Hopefully not. It'll be on camera.
Well, if we do, it's part of the episode.
Yeah.
God,
trust me.
bring us protection.
There's been a lot of things that happen in this podcast because of this trip.
Yeah.
Like there's crazy things. I've seen helicopter. What is that?
There's like a white black private plane.
That was a black private plane. I don't know, but
That's kind of cool.
But I've seen helicopters. I've seen crazy firemen. I've seen people just like riding their bikes and they grab onto my car and they just ride with me. Like I've seen like so many things in the podcast. It's a little warm now for me. I don't know how you feel.
How long have you had this podcast? What do
you
guys chat
are.
about?
I have the fortune to have you as my last guest of 2024 and season 2. So I've had it for 2 seasons.
Okay.
I do about 10 episodes per season.
Okay.
And
one a month almost. A little less than one a month.
What's that?
One a month, kind of.
Episodes?
Yeah.
I do about, at the beginning I was doing one a week.
Okay.
But it got it's just like
that's a
busy,
lot.
like editing the
That's a lot. What a
clips,
week.
everything. So at least two a month.
Okay.
And then the last month, I think we were gonna film and then we have to kind of like
I know, I got
redo
sick.
this. But I do want to give like an intro because you have an amazing story in the
tell
back.
them what you want to.
What I want to say about you.
Introduce me.
I'm here with Lauren Drain. Amazing background story, but also turned into a nurse, which then become a personal trainer, fitness. You've amassed an incredible amount of followers on Instagram, over 3.5 million by now.
Yeah.
You've also coached over 40,000 people.
Yeah.
And
Very good. Good memory.
And now you're in the podcast too. You're also a New York Times bestseller.
Yes.
Let me do this right now.
Okay.
And here we are now in Las Vegas on the Strip on Christmas Eve, pre-birthday celebration. So by the time this comes out,
my birthday. Perfect.
yeah, by the time this comes out, it'll probably be your birthday and a new year. So happy 2025 for all of you guys watching this. And
December is always a great. Thank you for the intro, by the way.
there you go.
Yeah, no, I definitely have these like different chapters, and like the 3 chapters that you kind of mentioned. It was like this religious cult that I left. That's a crazy story, so you guys can hear a lot about. I talk about a lot about my on Triggered podcast.
On your podcast, yep.
Triggered by Lauren Drain. You can find it on Spotify or YouTube. But I talk
I like
about
YouTube.
Yeah.
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 I
mean,
watched
both
the
of them.
video.
Both of them have videos.
I know, but I now pay for the premium on YouTube with no commercials and everything.
Yeah.
And
Oh, same. I always pay. Yeah, you have to pay for premium. No ads. But
Yeah.
so it's on both. But basically, I tell a story of like getting thrust into a religious cult at age 14, how that completely altered my life, and then how that shifted, and then I end up getting kicked out at 21, which means I got kicked off from my whole family, separated from like mother, father, sister, brother. I'm the oldest of 4, and then all my family and friends. Because when I was in this religious cult, basically the only people I was allowed to associate with the people inside the church. So as soon as I got kicked out, all my friends and family cut me off.
so you were 21 and starting completely fresh.
Start completely over.
New friends, new family.
I didn't get new friends or family for a while. I was alone, like very, very alone. Thank God I had my nursing career. So
well, you're educated, you're disciplined. No shit.
Nursing was amazing, and I did that for like 10 years, but at the time, like, that was the only thing keeping me afloat, because I just worked nonstop. But that's a whole other story. So it was the religious cult, my nursing, and then I transitioned into like online fitness training. So at the same time that I was really obsessed with fitness, I would say right around like 28, 29, I wanted to get in the best shape of my life. I was like signing up for all these fitness competitions and
Fitness
like
pro.
Yeah, and it was like when Instagram was just starting to boom, like 2013, 2014 is when it was easy to grow on Instagram because, you know, you post back then and it was just viral time. And it was basically the algorithm was working with you, not against you. Or obviously.
And not that many people were doing,
Yeah.
you know,
So it was like very
personal fitness.
It was exciting to be on Instagram and it was exciting to make posts. So I was kind of like on that train of when fitness became very popular and trendy. And so that's kind of the time I grew. I haven't grown that much in a couple years. It was that first initial push of like, I would say like 2013 to 2018, like the first 5 years it was really easy to grow.
Do you remember getting to your first million?
Oh yeah.
And how long did it take?
I remember tripping to go from 0 to 100,000. Like that was a very, very big deal. And
It is a big deal.
I
How
remember,
long did it take
you know what happened with that too?
Yeah.
Okay, so my first big show, I wanted to have some type of online presence for the judges to see and, you know, whatever. I thought that might be impactful for like sponsorships and stuff. So I hit my first 100K right for my first show and I lost my Instagram the day before my show. So I was tripping out because I was like, they can't see me. I can't post this federation. Like that's it. It's over. I went to 100K and I lost my account. So basically some hacker hacked me.
Oh, someone hacked you. So it wasn't like Instagram saying
I wasn't
like,
disabled,
oh,
but basically, no, not that time. Although I have had that happen several times.
Sometimes they do like booty shots that like you can't show your...
all the
okay,
time now.
yeah.
All the time now. But back then I was like, oh my gosh, I lost it forever.
Wow.
And then after 100K, I got it back 2 or 3 days later after my show. And I went from, in that 1 year, from 100K to 1 million. And then each year was I would grow by 1 million.
So you 10x'd.
It was crazy.
What did you attribute to that?
You can't grow like that anymore. It's so frustrating.
And I mean, those 10x jumps are insane. To go from where you are right now, it would have to be 30 million.
It's so crazy, but it's
what
just
would you attribute that growth then? Was it like...
I think it was the right timing because there wasn't billions and billions of however many users there are now. There's a lot less users. Mm-hmm. So when you got viral, you weren't competing with a bunch of other viral content creators. You were viral because you're one of the few that were creating content all the time. I was creating content as a lifestyle. First, I started as a hobby because I was working full time as a nurse. So I had to work a full-time nursing job, which, you know, however many hours, you know, three 12-hour shifts. And then when I was not working, I was either working out to be in shape and to be in shape for my content. And then I had to create content on top of that. So I had 3 jobs, a full-time nursing job. I had to get in shape, which is a full-time job, you know.
I mean, that is the discipline of the content.
And then the third one is the content creation. So being a fitness content creator was actually very, very time consuming because you have to do all the things. And then finally I was like, okay, I have to work the job to make the money to pay. These fitness competitions are expensive. To pay for the fitness competition, you have to continue to stay in shape. Then you have to take the videos and the photos, and then you have to post. So it became a full-time job. But at that time, there wasn't a lot of us, and I was like, that's it. I want to be just like my idols. And
who are some of them?
Well, you know, back then it was like everybody. It was just like Paige Hathaway and Ainsley Rodriguez, all the shred athletes. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, like all these sponsored athletes.
I'll put pictures, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just anybody and everybody that was, you know, because back then it wasn't saturated, but now the market's so saturated. Everybody's a fitness influencer. Everybody is selling online program training. And I remember back then, I'm talking back in like 2014, before everybody thought of this. I was working my nursing job at night. I worked night shift, and at night when everyone's sleeping, there's not a whole lot to do after you chart everything, after you put everyone's to sleep. And I would spend my hours, instead of just sitting there, everyone's on their phones or reading books, I would create fitness programs for custom fitness programs for my clients. So as I'm working in the hospital, getting that paycheck, I'm getting a side paycheck, and it became my hobby. And I developed my first fitness challenge.
That was your business mindset.
Yeah, my business mindset. I wanted so badly to escape the matrix of, which I didn't even remember back then. Nobody even talked about escaping the matrix or leaving your slave job.
Yeah, or fire.
Nobody knew.
Retire early.
It was weird. I knew in my mindset, I knew in my like intuition that this was, as much as I love nursing, like nursing is a beautiful passion. Mm-hmm. What they do is incredible for people, and they have amazing critical care skills, and I love all that stuff, but we work so hard for so little money. Like that job, which should be paid more than millionaires, because people's lives are in your hands. You're saving people's lives. You're bringing them back from a code. Like they're having heart attacks. They're post surgery.
You are responsible.
You're responsible for people's lives, and so you should be getting paid, and you should be valued for that. We had little to no vacation time. You get 2 weeks out of the entire year to take a vacation, and good luck getting the right
It's
weeks. Burnout. You're always working. You're always overworked. They call even after 3 12-hour shifts, which always turn into 14-hour shifts. You're never home. Then they call you in every week for extra overtime. So I come in and I work overtime, and I'm making anywhere from $30 to $60 an hour, depending on if it's overtime or not. That's it. That's all that I make. My ceiling for money was like $70,000, $80,000, $90,000. And then you tax that.
What was the most you made as a nurse?
Probably around there,
year.
like maybe 80 or 90K, because I work so much overtime.
At what point did you cross that?
But then I
was
like, but that was when I was like, I maxed out on my ceiling. I did everything.
Yeah.
I climbed the ladder. I went from like nursing to charge nurse. I went to like float pool nurse. Like there's all these different differentials you could do to maximize your money, right?
To get up there.
To get up. But then when I got to the top, which was like ICU float pool nursing, and then I thought, okay, the next thing after this is travel nursing, because they make 3x what nurses make. I kept trying to climb, but it's like, dude, still, even if you're making a travel nursing job, which is 3x what normal nurses make, I'm never gonna be a millionaire. Never.
Yeah, it's 150.
I'm not even gonna make $500,000 a year ever for slaving away. So that's when I realized, and I didn't even know that when I was transitioning to fitness, that was an avenue to make more money, make money in different ways, elevate my lifestyle. I just knew it felt right, and it was like enticing to aesthetically look good and to feel the control of going from, I don't know, whatever I felt like, kind of like a skinny fat average, to like you can look ripped, you can look younger, you can look more attractive, more lean, more strong. Like there were so many like aspects.
It was empowering for sure.
Empowering, yes. And I felt like I took control back of my life. There's so many parts of my life that I didn't feel control of. Like I can't make any more money than I want. I can't get more time because I work so much. I have, my time is strapped. You know, at the time I had no family in my life, so I was like, okay, that's a sense of control I didn't have, which is, you know, feeling connected, feeling like you belong.
It's a big part of life to have that support from family, friends, everything got cut off. When you were doing these like 14-hour days and actually doing your business at night, were you thinking like, I'm gonna scale this into a business, or were you just doing I want to help somebody else? Because
I'm not as business minded as you. Like I think you would have picked up on it like this and immediately turned.
Well, you're already working on it.
But my brain knew that it felt right intuitively. Like what this is at the time, I was making $50 per challenge. That's it. Like it was like an hour of work at work. So I never knew right away that this is a cash cow. I never knew that. That wasn't like my instinctive. What I knew was I could escape this slave lifestyle. So in other words, what I knew was this is, I guess scalable is the right word, but I didn't think of it that way. I thought about this could be more volume based, right? I can only take care of so many patients at the hospital.
There's so many hours,
right?
And you can scale
but
up.
you can't make more money. But with this, if I have millions of followers, I can help these people get in shape, change their lifestyle, get rid of like anxiety, depression through fitness, through that avenue of like feeling confident, empowered, like fit, healthy.
It's amazing.
I knew that, and I also knew that it was taking people's power back. So I witnessed people become very, very sick in the hospital, even at very young ages. Like we had this particular patient on our unit. He was a young man. He was 18 years old, and he had always had heart problems since it was congenital heart disease. So since he was born, birth defect of the heart, and he had to have a heart transplant at a very young age. So my specific unit that I worked on was geared towards heart transplants. So these are very, very sick patients. Whether they're young or old,
18. Wow.
They're young, right? Or some of them are young, some of them old, but the problem is their life is quality of life goes down extremely when they're sick. So they need 20 plus meds. They need like all these procedures all the time. They need a lot of care. So we saw what it looks like when you're not healthy, right? We saw that extreme thing get taken from people, and I got exposed to it. So I was like when I was pretty young. So I was like late 20s, and I learned, you know, now in his case, obviously it was birth defects, so that's not his fault, but most of our patients were lifestyle choices, you know, sedentary life, eating really poorly, never working out.
Okay.
That was like 80-90% of our clients, you know. So I learned very quickly, if I don't have an active lifestyle, if I don't change how I eat and how I, you know, I'm gonna get sick.
There's real repercussions.
Like, yeah, this is what my life is gonna look like, you know, not too far off. And I also saw the nursing culture, nurses get sick. So nurses are always working, they're stressed out, and they're only taking care of others. They don't think to take care of themselves. So if you're working for 12 hours, you barely take a restroom break. You drink coffee to stay awake and to be working, but you eat you have like
You're there for others.
your one lunch break. You eat shitty food on your lunch break, and
Go ahead, buddy.
all my nursing coworkers were also, I saw their lifestyle get really sick. Like, and I was like, I don't want any part of this. I don't want to be on the client side of it. I also don't want to be a nurse that gets sick, because we're not taking care of ourselves. And that's when I was like, I got to help these nurses. I got to help them understand, no, on our days off, I know we're tired, but we have to train. Just 1 hour, a couple days a week.
You were the one pushing them?
I was pushing for it. I was like, girls, we have to do this. And I would also bring my disgusting...
That takes initiative. That shows leadership, initiative, discipline. Because it's very easy to say, no, I don't want to do it, or I already worked, or I'm tired.
Most of them are like, have excuses, because they're like, okay, they are tired, they just want to enjoy their meal, or they want to enjoy their day off because they work so hard. But I was like, no, you don't understand. Just that 1 hour, if you just take 1 hour on your 3 or 4 days off to dedicate to your health, you'll feel fitter, younger, stronger, and it actually will enhance your life instead of just only resting on your days off. If you only rest on your days off, you get more and more sedentary, you get more and more stressed, you get more overweight, and you're never, it becomes harder and harder to start the process. So I tried, and actually a lot of them, did like my challenges and things like that. So it's really kind of cool. But I noticed the culture was just like not healthy mentally or physically, and I was like, I gotta get out of here.
You're exposed to a different world.
And I was like, I gotta get out of here. As soon as I got onto social media, it's actually quite ironic that...
Mute my own phone. I always tell people, and I heard it right now, and I was like, oh my god, I'm a victim of my own...
You're late to your own podcast,
late.
your phone is like
my phone is going off, people are cutting me off.
Like what is this?
Oh my god.
Yeah. So yeah, it was really ironic that a profession that is highly in demand and highly respected gets paid next to nothing, and you learn over time. It's not going to change from year to year. Your time off is not going to drastically improve. Your income's not going to drastically improve. Your health is not going to drastically improve. I'm one of those people, and I think you are too. You can see the end game really quickly. Right?
Yeah, you want to know like this is
but
not
like
gonna
when you're
end
in
well,
something, you're like, what it's in for. Even when you were in your party business, you're like, okay, this is a short term. It's a cash cow for now, but I can't do this forever. Who the hell can party forever and like live that life? That's how my brain works. I see things in where I'm at now. Where is the ceiling?
You play the tape through.
Yes,
so you kind of know the whole thing. And I've seen the movie. I know where it ends.
Yeah, and
then
I can be easily over it like that fast. So like I remember asking the veteran nurses there. They've been there for 20, 30, 40 years. Do you ever get used to night shift? Because night shift you get paid the most differential. Do you ever like feel like you're valued here? Is it ever worth it? They're like, no, it's never worth it. We're burnt out. We aged 10 years faster than the normal.
I miss family gatherings.
Yeah, and I'm like, why would I stay here? All you're doing is advocating for me to leave. You're basically, and they weren't. They were telling me to stay. All my nursing coworkers are basically saying, because it's that whole chase the carrot mentality that a lot of the slave minds of the world have, which is the 9 to 5. Like, oh my god, I gotta stay for my 401k.
The
oh my
rat
god.
race. By the time I'm 62, I'll have $1,100.
Why does everyone think like this?
You're 32. Like,
this is your life right now. You're not gonna. When you're 62, you might not be healthy enough to do anything, or want to go on vacation. Your back probably is gonna hurt. Your knees are gonna hurt. What the fuck?
You just want to stay in. So when you started doing these things, these programs, like, what was the first pricing? Like, what would you do? Like, how did you structure this to? Like, if you think about it, you have this mentality like, I want to be a millionaire. With 1 million followers, all you really need is $1. If you have $1 person,
that's how I
thought
it would be. Okay, here's what I learned, and everyone's social media following is different. Every single one's follow them for different reasons, and it takes years to figure out why they follow you. You don't get to just survey. You don't get to just send out a massive survey to each one of your followers and get like 3 million emails back. You know how amazing that would be? And we probably can.
The accurate data,
Yeah, we probably could through AI now, because like I can't even read 3 million. I could barely read 3 emails. But what I'm saying is I didn't have feedback. So for years, what I thought is possibly what you think. I can monetize this. 3 million followers. Even at $0.25, we're making millions, right? So I was just like, okay, how do I do this? And I didn't realize some people follow me because they're inspired. That's a small percentage. Some people follow me because they're jealous. That's another percentage.
Women?
Of course. Some people follow me because I'm attractive, but they're not really gonna buy anything from me. They just like visually looking at nice things, right? I follow people because they look nice. I'm not gonna buy anything from them. Do you follow people like that?
Yeah.
I mean, I follow people that are like inspiring or attractive or whatever, but I'm not gonna do anything. I might not engage at all. It's weird. Sometimes depending.
We just want to see where they're
yeah,
at.
sometimes it's just something pretty to look at. But I'm like, okay,
A lot of their stuff was in fitness. What's your audience, female, male based?
No, I do have a lot of male followers, which is kind of annoying. I love my male followers, but I wanted to...
dirty men? Is that why?
No, not all dirty men. No, actually, a lot of them are very intelligent. A lot of them are very fit. Like, they relate to... Because I've grown a certain type of following over the years. I would say, I don't know if it's like a 70-30 split, somewhere around there, 70 male, 30 female. But I was trying to grow a fitness following. And I would say 80-90% of my clients that I've had over the years, the 40,000 that you talked about, were all female. So females are actually the ones buying. And actually, I don't know if this is in your business... model, but in mine specifically, females are the ones that pay for things. They're the ones that buy things, or the customers, whatever. And so obviously I've always wanted to have more female followers, but it's a catch-22, because you can't control who's going to follow you, and I just had a lot of males follow me. So over the time, that's actually why I ended up starting like my OF, my OnlyFans, is because if I have such a high percentage of males, why would I not monetize it? And I didn't, for years I was like, why would I even do that? But I did.
How long have you had that account?
Maybe a year and a half, 2 years. No, actually I started it in 2021.
Can I ask how many subscribers you have?
You can ask how much money. I'll give you a clue on money, because this is what I find fascinating. This is a double-edged sword, I find. Okay, I told you I made next to nothing nursing. I could never even break $100,000 a year nursing, maximizing everything.
Yeah,
I had.
a year. Yeah.
I make over that a month.
In OF alone?
Yes. Listen, do you remember on my podcast when you said that you could make $100,000 a month?
Yeah.
And I didn't believe you.
Yeah, and I told you, like, once you break that ceiling, that you're gonna be like, hey, I know some people make $1 million a month. And it's just the next level. You
told me that, and I literally could not fathom in my brain. And I remember you told me, whatever you think you can make, if you believe in yourself, you can. And I thought, well, that seems so like
cliche,
like
almost.
Cliche, and like it very like cheesy, and very like, okay, sure, if I believe it, I can. And I was just like, what is he talking about? I was thinking also, okay, you have a very business mindset, but you're also a man, and I think men are better at business 1,000 times better than women. I've tried, and every step of the way that I've gotten, my husband has helped me, or a manager has helped me, or another.
On the finances, or the setup, and something. Here's my theory on why. It's not that women aren't smart enough. It's not that women aren't driven enough. It's that women are very... We have these other things that kind of tug at us. We're very emotional, so our emotions can completely screw up our drive, or our discipline, or our routines. All of a sudden I don't feel like doing it today. Okay, so emotion, we also are very distractible, right? I want to buy this, I want to take care of my family, I want to take care of my dog, I want to take care of my cat, my children. Women are distractible. So emotions, distractions, and I would say we're also multitaskers, right? So men can focus on one freaking thing and get it done. We can't. Especially like numbers,
but we can't. I literally pull my hair out trying to keep focused on one thing. It drives me nuts to stay focused on one thing.
Like, who keeps track, like, on a monthly basis, numbers, movement?
Like, my husband will have to constantly remind me, hey, we gotta keep doing, like, not that to make me work, but to remind me what the focus is. Like, I'll work, but I'm kind of chaotic when I work. I'll do this, and then I go do that, and I go do, oh my god, I'll circle back to this, and over time, it creates momentum, and over time, it creates productivity, but my productivity line doesn't look like this. Like, when I and every time I hang out with you or any like other man that's obviously successful in business, I see what it is, and you're just driven in a straight line. Like, you can stay on track. I can't stay on track.
You just gotta be focused. Listen, I think...
But I don't think women have the... I really, truly believe most women do not have the ability to do this unless they possess extreme masculine characteristics. Which
I like the type,
that allow them to be like a man, which is very hyper-focused, disciplined.
But then they need a guy who, who's a little bit of a...
So that means... But I don't... The interesting thing is, I was trying to do that for the longest time, is like be this hustler type. I want to make all this money. And I still want to make money. And I still enjoy learning about business, crypto, all these different things.
Ooh, are you into crypto right now?
I am, yeah. Of course.
How long?
You should be.
I've been since 2017.
Oh, hell yeah. What the hell? You're fucking killing it. I have not been in that long. I'm kind of mad because I explicitly remember conversations that I had in like 2018 where all my friends were like, oh, you gotta buy Bitcoin, and I was like, oh, whatever.
I've been in crypto. I
bought
saw
it in 2021.
over 1,000. Ooh, okay, so you were at the peak when it was, and then it started going down.
I got it back in when it dropped to like 26.
Oh, awesome. I think there's somewhere in my Instagram where I made a video, and
When did you get
financial
in?
advice.
It's like
2017.
So it was like 5.
It was like around 6,000, yeah,
Oh
6,000,
my
8,000.
God. Did you buy a lot or no?
Well, I also didn't have my business, so I didn't have money. So it was one of those things where like I got in, you know, with
you threw a few pennies
with
in
whatever
it.
I can fucking get in there.
What do you have? How many coins do you have?
And now that I'll say I have more than one Bitcoin.
Wow.
Yeah, and most people have like little pieces and whatnot, but
can you give an estimated amount of how much money you have in Bitcoin?
Probably maybe like, I mean, it'd be easy, like, I don't know, 250,000 maybe, I don't know.
Okay, but still pretty amazing because like you just
not just in Bitcoin, like all my crypto.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
yeah.
I did at the beginning. I was crazy.
Yeah.
Waking up at 3 a.m. because of Chinese market.
Did you go back in when it was like at 20 or 30K? Did you
So
buy?
at 16,000, I made a video on my Instagram, and I said it's not financial advice, but this thing it's not gonna go any lower. I made it when it was at 17,000, and then it bottomed at 16,000, and then it jumped back up. I mean, you got at a really good time at 21,000.
Mine's not bad. I think it was 26. It was less than 30.
Did you buy more than one coin?
Yes, I think I estimate around 500,000 probably.
So you have like 5. That's pretty good.
I don't know if that's that many. Probably, yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah, probably about 5.
And that alone will probably keep you retired. So I'm glad you kind of.
But it's not. It's like this is like future money because I'm not cashing
Very
out.
Future money.
Are you cashing out? I'm not cashing out. I'm gonna wait till it's freaking skyrocketed, and even then I don't.
It's $1 million.
But then the higher it goes, the less you want to cash out.
But I saw like breaking the. I saw when it was like at the 1,000, like I was already on my radar, but I haven't bought in. So I remember being under 1,000 because my roommate was in like talking about it when it was like less than $10. Like he.
How much? Okay.
He worked for the government, and he knew a lot of stuff.
Did you buy a full Bitcoin at 5,000?
I think I bought.
Or somewhere around there. And how much?
My first Bitcoin probably like fully 12,000.
Okay, and how much money did you have at that time when you invested in it?
I remember I had gotten from a. You're asking me. I should be asking you this question.
No, this is interesting because you made the decision.
I got it. I got like some insurance money, and I was like, "Fuck it! I'm just gonna put it all in." And I think I had maybe like $20,000-$30,000
to your name at the time.
Yeah, and which I never, I didn't.
See, but that's ballsy. That story is better than mine. My story is like, oh wow, I had extra money.
You already had money, yeah.
Wow,
I didn't have money.
I know, that's why it's cooler to tell your story. My story's like, wow, it's like, that's not even risky to be like, oh, I have extra money that I can lose.
I risked. I had nothing.
There's no risk.
I risked it for sure.
I know.
I paid. My mom had like $9,000 in debt. I paid her $9,000 and like some credit cards, and then I put the rest on crypto.
But you know what it has taught me? It's taught me what I will say that women do have that's amazing. Men have the strategy in my opinion, men know how to like write a business plan and execute it, right? They have the discipline and execution. Yeah. Women have the intuition. So if these two people can work together in business or relationships, it's a powerhouse.
Well,
so
you have a great partner.
I have intuition though. I knew the day that the person told me I felt it in my body. I didn't know why. I didn't understand all the business mindset behind it. I'm not like, I don't have a business degree. When the first person told me we should invest in this, for some reason my body lit up. It felt like.
Who was it?
I think my friend Ted. I lived in Playa Vista. And he was a big
business. I lived in Marina Del Rey.
But it was like him plus his friends. Like I had no reason.
So that group of people.
But it wasn't like it's because it came from them. You know when you just intuitively know, my body was like, this is right. And I couldn't tell you why. I just knew it was. I remember talking to Dave about it. I was like, we should do this. And he's like, oh, I don't know. It's this and that. And I was like, okay, that happened. And then there was another time where my friend Megan told me, and she knew about it pretty early on. Like I'm talking pre-2020.
Megan. Shout out to Megan.
Shout out to Megan Phelps-Roper. I love you. And then Daisy, my lash lady, she's awesome. She's also a good friend. She's
lash ladies in Bitcoin.
Yeah, but she's in Bitcoin. Hell yeah, and she's really she's more successful than me.
It's gone. Fuck. When your lash lady is in crypto, You know, we've gone mainstream.
Dude, she's literally the reason I have money. She has more money in it than I have. Like
in crypto.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
and
she's been in it for.
She got into day trading stocks, crypto, all during 2020. She's like, I don't have a business right now, so I need to figure out how to.
And the world was shut down. It was perfect.
You had to learn. She learned it. So she's like self-taught. So I gave a shout out to Daisy too. She's actually on one of my podcasts. She's and Triggered. I did this whole podcast on how an immigrant, similar story. Immigrant came to America, bought a failing business, turned it around to $1 million, and her whole story, like she's like a self-made millionaire before age 30.
That's awesome.
She's really cool.
I love that.
She's really cool. She's
that.
super smart. But yeah, so crypto is interesting. But I remember back to the intuition thing. Mm-hmm. Now, okay, I can't remember. I think last time we had a chat, I told you I wanted to enhance my spiritual gifts or my gifts. I know I have more to offer this world than just where I'm at, I guess. And I always kind of feel that way wherever it is. Like if I'm just a fitness model or a fitness trainer, or I have my OnlyFans, like I know in my soul I have more to offer this world than that, right? Mm-hmm. That's where I'm at. But what I'm starting to realize is a whole intuition thing. Had I listened to it that one time, it screamed at me to do it, and I didn't. You don't have to listen to your intuition. It screams at you, but you can ignore it. And the way we ignore it is through distractions, through addictions, through doubt, through fear. All those things cancel your intuition. But your intuition is there if you listen. It screams. And that was one of the moments. And I'm like, okay, now it encourages me to...
It's the universe.
But it encourages me to don't try to talk yourself out of something that feels right. Because we all do this. We're like, oh my God, but what if, and this and that. Like, no, it's there for a reason. We have this like gut instinct, and we should listen to it. And like you
God-given.
Yes, but you always act on it because you're crazy.
Well, I am also on the high risk tolerance. Most people don't get $20,000-$30,000 and then just put it all on red.
Yes, exactly. But high risk, high return, though.
Yeah, I wish I had the money that I have now. Then, like
of
everybody,
course,
like everybody said, like, but at least I was already putting my thesis in play. Like I was buying little by little, $500 here, $2,000 there, $10,000.
Did you see it as a test? Like were you using it as like a test? Let me test this out, or did you actually believe in what you were doing?
I was getting up at 3 a.m, like studying this thing at 3 a.m, because the Chinese market, even though crypto is traded 24 hours, they were doing trades and new things, and so I was getting in like when people that were posting videos on a different time zone, I was getting in before people would wake up here at 6 a.m. So I was already getting on these.
But when you because you obviously are very proactive. When you get in something, you're proactive, which is awesome. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, when you did it, did you think, okay, I'm kind of trialing this out as an experiment, or did you think, I believe in this shit?
No, I believed in it. Okay. I still do.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought 100,000 would take longer, which gives me even more reasons to be bullish, because I remember, the chatter when it crossed 10,000. Everybody was like, oh my God, it's about to cross 10,000, 6,000, 8,000. And then when it crossed, I remember one time I was like, it's funny, I was with my girl, and I would look at my thing just move up and down, move up and up, it's small amounts, but even then I remember just like, I went to the bathroom, and by the time I came out, in 45 seconds, I've made like $2,000. And she was looking at my phone when it happened, and she's like, I mean, you just took a piss and you made $2,000. So I was like,
my God,
that's like how much I'm making a week. And I was like, it's crazy. Like we got really into it. Then obviously everything collapsed and things changed, but I never panic sold. So there's two things that I know well, and that this is my decision for my personal finance. If all my business fail and everything breaks down, I know my Bitcoin and my Tesla stock will make me multimillionaire.
Oh, for sure.
I know that. That's for sure. Amazing. Will, like, down the road.
Yeah. You know what
would do that for me?
I feel like I've learned it from you, obviously how you've kind of treated your businesses, but also our last conversation, which is when I was so shocked that you were so risky, and I was trying to figure out, like, I was trying to psychoanalyze, like, your methods almost, and because I didn't have those methods, and I realized I do actually intrinsically have them. I just haven't been acting on them, And you remember I told you I don't believe in myself in certain things, and I need all this constant validation and reassurance. And I realized that is an addiction in itself that is blocking my success, or blocking my abundance, or blocking my intuition. And once I figured it out, then I'm acting on it and the abundance flows.
Your
But this
vicious cycle, have to get
right.
out of it.
But it's interesting because this is with, I remember learning about this last year, and Daisy was one of the people that explained it to me, the whole abundance mindset, the whole like manifestation, like what is it? How do you engage in it and how do you make it work? And it is, and every person has access to this if they can figure it out. And the way it is, we over time, we're actually intrinsically born with this ability, right? To be abundant, to be productive, to be successful, and we block it over time. So what happens is life comes in and gives us traumas, and those traumas start to block our faith. So we start to feel, oh my God, no, that person hurt me, so this person might hurt me. Oh my God, like, you know, I was born poor, why would I ever be rich? Like all these random little,
my body, like all these different things,
and they come in and they sit in our minds and they stay stuck. And if we unlock them and say, but what if, like the whole what if mindset will unlock it. But what if I wasn't poor? What if I could be rich? What if I could be successful? What if I could learn more? Whatever it is, this constant seeking and this constant questioning unlocks it. But what we do is our fears and our doubts block, right? So anytime you get excited about something, like let's say someone gets excited about a dream job, a dream relationship,
career, I want to apply for this job,
whatever. We all have dreams, right? And then what happens is life, aka traumas and problems, come and try to suffocate it and create these doubts and fears that block it.
Even other people that we know tries to block you. Like there's some friends that don't want to see you succeed more.
Yes,
that they don't like you hitting. There's certain friends that I talk about my financial success,
and they act all weird about it.
And there's some that I just don't say it. Like if there's a group of friends, then I just want to send like yesterday I was cleaning out my room in my apartment and it's a mess. But I found my very first paycheck for InMotion, for the company, and it's a check for $247,500. I've never even made that money in 5 years.
Of course not.
And this is my first paycheck.
Yeah.
And I sent it just to one specific person because there's some people that get excited when you're growing. There's some people that encourage you
because they're on your vibration.
They want you to succeed. Like,
but
it makes me so happy that you're growing.
But it's because they've elevated to that vibration.
Yeah.
So we actually all have the ability to be on that wavelength, right? Even people that are haters, the only reason they're hating is because they haven't elevated themselves. And I'm not saying elevated in money. I'm saying elevated in mindset. So the mindset comes first. Their thoughts. Yep. Yes. So if they were on the inspirational mindset, they would be excited when you get success. They'd be excited when you hit the new number, quota, goal, whatever, because it inspires in them, oh, if that underdog can do it, I can do it. That's what means inspiration. What was interesting is the same input, like you I don't know, making your new quota or whatever, that's an input that to me can inspire me or make me angry and jealous. I have a choice. Depending on my wavelength, I can react to it. It's the same input. You're doing the same thing to different people, which is being successful, making the money, talking about it, whatever. But I can either be inspired by it or super jealous about it.
Well, your following is exactly what you're talking about.
But what's interesting about
you inspire, and then some people that
and I experienced that a lot also too. But I rose above it because I knew so strongly that there's nothing to be jealous about when it comes to someone's physique. You have a lot of control. Most people have a lot of control over if their physique needs to be leaner or stronger or better.
Yeah, their physique. You may not be able to change your
you can't change
eye
a lot
color.
You can't change
your
a lot
height,
of things.
But you can change
your physique.
Your butt, your ass, your arms.
So I'm like, why would you even be jealous or mad or even hate on that when it's in your power? Not only is it in your power, but it can make you feel better. It can enhance your everything.
Gives you more energy.
Yeah. So I knew. I have been detracted by certain trolling if I didn't understand the concept. But when it came to fitness, I always knew that's the best thing for everyone. If anyone has the time and the energy to dedicate to that, it's going to save your life. It's going to save your mentality. It's going to enhance your relationships. It's going to make you more presentable to the world. So when you go to do business or you go to do this or that, like it only enhances. And obviously not everyone has the time or energy to dedicate to it. So that's a different story.
There's different circumstances.
But no one is like, if you could hit a red button that says, I'm going to be super fit right now, who the fuck wouldn't hit that?
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I like this.
I like when Arnold talks about that. He goes like, the body is the one thing that you can't inherit it, You can win it in the lottery. You know, you can't
I like that.
apply for the job for it and get it.
Yes.
Like, you have to work constantly.
It
Like, if I
shows-
look this way, it's because I earned it.
Yes.
Nobody gave me this.
Right.
Nobody did that. Like,
No, yeah, that's a great way to put it. And I would say that's why I'm kind of excited. There's like a new culture right now. If you've seen like Mark Zuckerberg and some of these like big CEO types.
Bezos, like,
yeah,
they're all getting fucking
in shape.
jacked.
Well, think about it. Like, they have everything you could have
Fuck
with
yeah.
money, but like you still have to earn that shit. You're a personal trainer. You can't pay him to do the reps for you. You can't pay him to not eat shitty food. Like, you can't. You have to do it yourself.
Yeah, so Joe Rogan, he was talking about Jeff Bezos, like, he's like, fuck yeah, Jeff Bezos. He's like, this is how billionaires should look like. Yeah.
It
Hot
should.
girlfriend,
Yes.
all jacked up. He's like,
Yeah.
just you partying in your yacht, just
Yeah.
looking all ripped in your 60s.
I think
And
it's
that's
so amazing that older guys are doing it too, because and even older women too. But because it's like, for some reason in society, they condition us with, okay, this is the age you're fit for. You only get to be fit for like what, 10 years, if that, and then all of a sudden you get the dad bod and the mom bod, and I was like, f that,
Yeah,
f
no.
that.
And I follow a lot of accounts of guys that are fit over 40.
Hell yeah.
I have a really good friend here.
I think it's amazing. Like, actually, Gary Brecka, he was on my show.
Gary Brecka, amazing.
He got so many people in shape. He got like Dana White, like
10x Health.
10x Health, all this stuff, all these older guys in amazing shape. Like, these guys are looking better than like some guys in their 20s.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, they could bench. They look great, and I do love that. There's a lot of studies on longevity. I think Tony Robbins, like, he's like 65.
Oh yeah, Tony
He
Robbins.
is like
He's
a
amazing.
beast, man. Waking up at 5 in the morning, getting all this stuff. But there are certain people that have practiced for so long that they
Yeah.
haven't. So wrapping up on the Bitcoin. So if it gets to 1 million, will you sell?
Will I sell? Here's the deal. I believe in it as a currency. Yes, it'd be cool to have a lot of money, but I don't believe in US dollars as much as I believe in like the centralized money. So if it is a currency and we're going to be able to buy things on that currency,
Which we can right now.
we can, but like I think it's going to get more and more, don't you think?
It's a matter of, when I tell people, like, it's a matter of if other people accept it, you know?
I mean, I think that our
if I go to
centralized
a store
government,
and
I think our
accept it-
government's going to try and prevent it from becoming too prevalent. But
I really hope Trump
I
gets
think
a little bit in the
Trump's gonna-
federal.
I think he's going to
Just
try
a tiny, even if he puts 1% of the Federal Reserve, our crypto is gonna skyrocket.
Really? How is that? Explain
So
that.
you and I don't have enough money to make any meaningful impact on Bitcoin. Let's
Okay.
just start with that.
Right.
That's what it's called, like an individual investor or a retail investor.
Okay.
That's what you and I are.
Okay.
Even if we make $10 million, we just don't have enough money to do it.
To impact the whole market of Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Okay.
We just don't.
Right, of course not.
And so then the next money that comes in from the retail investor is a business. Now,
Yeah.
right now there's about 60 companies that have put Bitcoin in their business ledger, which
Okay.
means they take profits on their business, and what they do with their profits is that they actually buy Bitcoin and they have it. Now, these are companies that have
Are you talking
billions.
about MicroStrategy and all that?
Well, MicroStrategy is the #1 company
That's doing that?
of the world that has that.
Okay.
But no, there's big companies like Tesla has maybe now $10 billion worth of Bitcoin. At
Okay.
least 6-8 billion, whatever it is, whatever
Yeah.
the price is.
Yeah.
I think they bought like about 8,000 Bitcoins. Let's just say that.
So what they're doing is taking their profits and converting it to Bitcoin. Yes.
Correct. I mean, you and I don't have $8 billion to
hell no.
spare
Uh-uh.
as a pocket change. Hey, what do I do with this extra $8 billion?
I'm so stressed. Where do I put it?
So it goes person,
Uh-huh.
that's the retail investor. Then it goes to business, companies like Tesla and other ones that have billions to spare,
Yeah.
Apple, Microsoft, which they haven't gone into that. There's about 60 companies that have done it. MicroStrategy is the #1.
So
they
you
own
said Apple
400
hasn't done it?
No, they have 400,000 coins plus.
Okay.
And then the next bigger step, like other bigger than companies,
Yeah.
is nations,
Yeah.
is countries.
Okay.
So the first country in the world that owns Bitcoin in their federal reserve
It's
of the
gonna
money.
be us with Trump?
No, the first one was El Salvador.
Oh, really?
It already happened, yeah. A tiny little country
Oh.
that has put in the reserve, and when they did it, they bought about $250, $280 million worth of Bitcoin. And the whole country was like, you're crazy, the new president, everything. And because the price has gone up so much, it took Salvador from debt to a profitable. Like it turned the economy of an entire country around by not doing anything. They
That's
just sat
so
on
cool.
it. So the president
So
of El Salvador,
why is everyone else not jumping on this?
well, because it's a matter of putting it into the reserve. Like what I'm literally saying is that El Salvador has Bitcoin as a federal currency. Like it is approved just like their currency, national currency.
Okay.
So the moment that Trump does it next year,
yeah,
it will create a ripple effect where nations around the world is gonna have if the U.S. has Bitcoin, we're buying Bitcoin, and because there's a finite number of Bitcoin, everybody's gonna jump and try to get a little bit. And here's the nuttiness. Like, that's what people think, like, oh, it'll never replace gold, oil, dollars. We're not even saying that. We literally are not saying that. Right now, the Bitcoin that's in people's wallets, it's less than 1% of the whole global economy.
Yeah.
Less than 1%.
Okay.
That means if Bitcoin were to go up to 5%, which is still a tiny amount of money. Think about all the money in the world, and it's only 5%.
Okay.
You will be like a centillionaire. Like the Bitcoin amount will be in the many millions per Bitcoin.
Really?
And it only has to be like a 5%. So MicroStrategy, to final this up, like they're doing a strategy for the next 21 years, and they believe that Bitcoin will be worth 7% of the global economy. That's nothing.
Which makes each coin a couple million.
$13 million per coin.
Oh wow. Okay, but question, because you obviously understand economics better than I do. What will that still matter? Will that mean being a millionaire is not that big a deal anymore? Will our economy be so fucked and inflation so crazy?
Well, it wouldn't be on inflation. See, abundance creates abundance. It would be like.
So if I have a Bitcoin and I have 13 million, I will be living abundantly. Because the people that don't have Bitcoin are now going to be super poor, or what?
Well, I wouldn't say that we're going to be super poor. I would say you're going to be set up yourself in a better place. Remember, I am definitely not suggesting that the dollar will disappear or gold will disappear. I'm just saying, like, even if he's wrong, and it doesn't become 7%, it becomes 3%.
Okay.
And that means Bitcoin is worth $6 million per Bitcoin.
Okay, question.
There's so much room for error.
How soon could this happen? If according to MicroStrategy's like predictions,
it's at a 21% increase annual rate every year.
So do the math. I don't know.
So in 21 years with this increase.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. In 21% is the increase. This is probably gonna happen in the next 10 to 12 years, and that is like.
What the fuck?
That's because we're thinking linearly, and the reality is that like. S-curve is faster, which means like if you're at the top of a mountain and you throw like a snowball, it starts slow, and as it goes further down, it starts going faster and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So the time it took from $0 to $1 to $1,000, $1,000 to $10,000, and exactly what I was telling you at the beginning, like I cannot believe how fast we went from 10,000 to 100,000. Like when I crossed $10,000 on a Bitcoin, in my mind I was thinking like, oh my God, that's crazy, legendary. Maybe when I'm 60, I'll see 100,000. What the fuck? Like that was like 4 years ago.
Way sooner, yeah.
Yeah, that was like, oh my God, we crossed it.
Yeah, no, when it was.
And it's just gonna continue to ramp up faster and faster because now more people. Your eyelash lady knows about it.
I know.
That was so unknown before.
She studied like the actual cycles and strategy and all that stuff.
And we're in for the biggest bull. So I was watching a lot of stuff on that.
Should we be buying more right now though? If it's going up, I'm confused.
I am buying as fucking every dollar that I can.
Okay.
But I personally buy more Tesla stock than Bitcoin. I just
really.
I just know Tesla stock much better, and I
think
see
Tesla stock will be more.
Tesla will be the most valuable company in the world by a fucking huge factor, by a very, very large factor. Okay. It'll be bigger than Apple and Microsoft and Google combined. It's just
because of the robots and the
autonomy.
Cars and
Autonomy, and then robots will be like. So the way Tesla works, and I'll finish that because that I could really So Tesla would be like cars is the smallest part of their business.
Yeah.
And they make the most profitable cars, and then after cars would be energy, which is a huge portion with the mega packs.
Wait, what's the energy?
So they sell energy batteries. So this car is it's a battery. I was trying to show you the battery on this thing.
By the way, I could never own a Tesla because I don't charge my phone. So if I had a Tesla, I would
charge
have
it home.
You know what I would have? I would have a trailer behind this car with a massive backup charger.
No, you charge it home, and when you wake up, it's fully charged. The car charges on its own. It chooses the peak electricity when it's like at the cheapest.
Do you have to charge it every night?
No, I charge once a week.
Oh, okay.
I just plug it in at night once a week.
But
I
can
get
you
300
imagine
miles.
that? Like, a bunch of chicks that own Teslas just having, like, these massive backup chargers.
That'll be a side business. I'm gonna just follow chicks. I'm trying to see if I find like an autonomy car here, because there's some autonomy cars that drive here.
Yeah.
So anyways, like for me, it's like Tesla, but I am risk driven. Tesla is very volatile. Bitcoin is very volatile, which means like if you have $2,000, $5,000, some people, you know, have 10 grand, they've saved up. They're not gonna become like a millionaire right off the bat from that.
Yeah.
But it gives them like a better choice. If you're making that kind of money, fucking it.
Yeah,
I would put like ASAP money on
Really?
I mean,
Even
like,
though-
I made 40 grand today on Tesla stock alone.
Really? 40 grand in one day?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I haven't done anything by the time I got here.
What the shit? How much do you have in Tesla stock?
I will just say, like, we can talk about it separately if you want, but I will tell you, like, I say I made, but
Okay.
the other day I lost
Right.
$80,000 in
Yeah,
one
yeah.
day, and I have the stomach to look at my account and say I can lose
Okay,
10,000,
it'll-
3,000, 8,000,
Okay, yeah.
and then eventually
It'll come back up.
it's gone to these crazy numbers where you
Yeah.
can lose $25,000 in a day and 50,000 earning it, you know. And then one day I said, maybe one day I'll be able to make 100 grand in a day.
Yeah.
Remember, I even said that in your podcast.
Yeah, okay.
I did that earlier this month.
Really?
Yeah. And I screenshot it. I was like, oh my God.
Is
like-
it from Tesla stocks?
Yeah.
Or that's so crazy.
But it's just a matter of like, when you, I will tell you, the next 4 years are the bootstrap to the most successful, you know, in the economy. Like it's
Yeah.
just gonna like, if you put it in the right places,
Yeah.
you'll be set, you know, and then you're gonna be able to just borrow against the money that you have.
Yeah, true.
You don't have to even
Do you
spend it
think
anymore.
we'll be able to buy like houses in Bitcoin soon and stuff like that?
I think you
in
can. I mean,
America?
and you can in the in the U.S. and I don't know if I don't know soon. I will say.
But is that what Trump's also getting us to do? Is
So when he's putting in the Federal Reserve, it just means that we have money that's backed by this, just like
Okay.
by gold. But I don't know if you know, the gold was removed from the gold standard in 1973. So Nixon removed. Nothing prevents the dollar from just being printed, which
Yeah.
is what we're doing. We're really
Yeah.
just printing money, printing.
all the time? Is he? Do you think he'll change that?
Well, Nixon removed the gold standard in 1973, which means like we don't have to have the same amount of gold as the same amount of dollars. So once he removed the amount of gold, which is, you know,
Wait, why
many
would
years
he
ago,
have done that?
because he sucked. But when he did that, that means we can now print. The U.S. federal government can now print more money than it actually has in the Federal Reserve.
No, it's horrible.
So now, because he's got David Sachs to his right hand, and he's going to be the new crypto and AI czar. That's his new position. Do you know who David Sachs is?
No.
So
tell
David
me.
Sachs is one of the PayPal mafia guys. He is one of the founders of PayPal. They call him PayPal mafia because all these guys, all four of them, like became mega multi-billionaires.
Okay.
One of them was Elon Musk.
Okay.
He created PayPal along with David Sachs, Peter
What has
Thiel.
he not done?
Yeah, he's a freak. But
He's a freak.
now you have Elon Musk and his bestie, David Sachs. They're like, dude, we go back 20 years ago when we created PayPal. And now they're both on the right-hand side of the president of the United States.
Oh
And they're
my
both going to
God.
say, hey, invest in crypto, make
Yeah.
it into a Federal Reserve. When it happens, it will have an enormous. And they're removing the guy who used to be the crypto guy who was really like putting all these U.S. sanctions and everything. So Trump said, like, first day he's fired.
Oh my God, this is gonna be wild.
It's gonna be super wild. Went for a ride. But it all ties in with mindset, and and this goes back to like, you know, you were talking about like you have this emotional, you're able to perceive things on an emotional level. And when we met, when we were talking about that, like it was all empathetic. Like you have this almost like supernatural empathy, and you've already shared it here. And I'm sure at some point, you know, in your life, in your career, you will stop doing the things that you don't want to do anymore, and
Yeah.
you will just focus on doing the things that you just want to do,
Yeah.
because the pressure of money
Yeah.
will be gone.
Yeah.
And you'll just be doing things because you need to do.
That
and,
would
and
be
that
the
is the
ultimate
alignment
goal.
of that's the alignment with spirituality. I had a girl here. She her name is Angie, and she does theta healing.
Okay.
And theta healing, she you know, she talked to me. She's like, you know, when you have trauma and the blockages and the trauma from childhood, different things, they stay in your subconscious, and the only way to remove them is through subconscious healing, through theta healing.
Okay.
So when you go through hypnosis, they put you in theta state,
Yeah.
and that's how you do.
You probably get in that super theta with ayahuasca. I sure as hell did.
So I
had
want to
all
know
the
about
brain
that.
waves. I had all the brain waves.
Did you meet God in your ayahuasca
Yo,
trip?
I already knew God, but I
love that.
I
There you go.
definitely said some prayers. I was literally, I mean, I had a little notebook and I had my prayers because there's actually Bible verses that talk about plants as healing agents for us. And I had like probably 10 to 20 different verses that talk about we use plants for healing.
Mm-hmm.
And I believed, okay, God, get me through this journey with plants, because what else? I mean, yeah, they have other modalities, herbs, ointments, oils, all that stuff is all for healing. But I knew that this needed to heal my subconscious, needed to heal my mind, because my mind was working against me. I had severe depression, severe anxiety, severe PTSD. I was just having a psychotic break, really, and in 2021, and I needed serious healing. So I experienced that, but also everyone in my ayahuasca journey, I saw them have huge breakthroughs, and I was even praying during my ayahuasca journey, okay, God, please heal me, okay, show me what I need to see, heal my heart, merge me back with my soul, because a lot of things that end up happening to us with trauma, and it makes sense too, Satan uses trauma to distract us. And Satan only has so many devices, but they're all the same. He creates illusions, or delusions, he creates distraction, he creates addiction, he creates trauma, he creates sickness. All these things are his methods to try and get us to detract us from our goal, which is to reach our highest power, our highest self, which is our we show our most light, our most purpose. We're the most healing to each other. We connect with one another. Like, Satan's always trying to block that. And so it makes sense that he'd use trauma to do that, because we see it everywhere. We see it in all of relationships. Anybody who has severe trauma can't act right. They
Through
can't,
relationships, through child abuse,
they're reactive, they're addicted, they can't be their highest self. You can't see, their light is not shining bright. And it's not that they are not a light child or a child of light. They are a child of light. Their light is dimmed.
We all are.
Their light is dimmed by their trauma, but it doesn't need to be that way. And in fact, this is the one thing I learned, because I always wondered, why me? Why have I been through all this? I used to be at that
self-pity.
Yeah, I used to be at that stage, or even anger about it. Like, why has this horrible things happened to me but doesn't happen to my friend or this person? And then I realized, the more you were traumatized, take it as a badge of honor, because what happened was Satan thought you were so freaking powerful that he traumatized you as much as he could, or put as many little curses, which he can't put on you unless God allows it to, by the way. And if God's allowing it to, that means God believed that you were going to overcome all of it, which means that you are so strong and so powerful.
God gave you the strength to get
overcome it, right?
And so, I do applaud you, because you're so vocal about all the difficult things. The name of your podcast, Triggered, is the perfect name for it, because it's one of those things that people don't want to discuss, don't want to talk about. You raise issues in many different aspects that people just whisper or look the other way.
Yeah.
And you're bringing light, literally. You're bringing light.
And I try, and I always wonder.
You need to continue.
I know.
You have to promise me.
I do. And I also realize, like, anytime you start getting, I'm speaking to the audience, each person has different spiritual gifts, right? So if you ever start to tap into your gift, whatever it may be, it could be healing, it could be like business, teaching people business, it could be teaching all these different things, you will get a huge roadblock. One or two or three will try to stop you, because what is going to happen is you're trying to step into your highest power, and when you do that, Satan hates that. So he will try to sabotage it. He will try to get you distracted or addicted or doubt yourself, fear yourself. Maybe your friends and family will start making fun of
seeds.
you. Yeah, he's trying to block it, because he doesn't want you to be the most powerful you are, because that's for God. That's not for him. So do not get discouraged when you try to do something you love and all of a sudden it starts falling to shit.
I'm going to replay this clip back to you,
so
that you can say this to yourself.
I do need to say it to myself
on a daily basis, because you do have
hard.
a gift.
It's hard though, because when you're in your seeking of a vision or a purpose, it's so easy to see everyone else is in it, right? So like if I'm inspired by someone who's super brave, maybe someone is fighting the evil media matrix, or people are fighting the powers that be of government, like evil corruption. Like, I can be inspired by that, right? And see, wow, that person's in their highest self, or that person is already elevated to where I kind of want to be, right?
I do see it all the time. Like, man, those people have achieve some kind of courage that I don't know if I have yet.
And so what's hard about that is it's good because it inspires you and it tells you where you need to be. But the bad part of it is you get discouraged because you're not there, right? So I will see someone in a position of power or purpose that I haven't achieved, and I'll be like, well, why am I not there yet? Why is it when I try to do it, it's not working? Why is it when, and then I need to realize there is patience in it, there is perseverance, and that person probably had a bunch of trials that I never saw, a bunch of struggles I never saw. I never got to witness them before they got there, but they kept pushing and they kept pushing and they kept pushing.
And nobody else is Lauren Drain.
Yeah.
You have to remember, you have your uniqueness.
I do, and I like I said,
we all do have our own.
Because you know what it is too. Obviously, there's some level of like validation in it that's exciting and whatever, fulfilling. But I don't know. There's a couple of verses in the Bible that talk about the parable of the talents. I don't know if you've heard about this, but the parable of the talents is basically when Jesus talks about it, but it's imagine a talent as a token, a Bitcoin, if you will, a Bitcoin, if you will.
Going back to it,
a Bitcoin, if you will. So each person is given a token, a Bitcoin, by God. And we call it talents too. When we say someone is really incredible at sports, we say talent. If they can sing really well, they're talented. If they can entertain an audience, they're talented. So this word talent goes to what was God-given in us, a God-given ability, which can also be very lucrative if you align with it and you get into the flow of it.
If you nurture it.
If you nurture it,
that
talent can become fruitful and it can become lucrative or abundant. So the parable of talents, he gives each person different amounts, right? This person gets 1 coin, this person gets 2, this person gets 5, this person gets 10. I can't remember the exact amounts, but it's definitely multiple. Some people get multiples and other people don't. So if you were in the jealous mindset, you will literally just like be jealous and you'll never get fruitful. But if you say, whatever God gave me, if he gave me 1 coin, God says, if I give you 1 coin and you were productive with 1 coin, I will give you multiples.
That's it.
And if you have 5, you're productive with that, he'll give you multiples. So it makes sense that people in life, if they become successful, especially along the lines of anything being connected to God and having faith and having purpose, that they kind of deserve the money they got.
They do. Well, that story is all about removing the fear.
Removing the fear.
The one who buried it.
And doubt.
They just stay there like, I don't want to lose the one Bitcoin that I have.
Exactly. So what people say is they protect their 1 coin and they're too scared. They have doubts that if they invest, it's not going to go anywhere. Or people are going to make fun of them, or they're going to have too much limelight and they don't know how to handle that scrutiny, because you will experience scrutiny if you're in a limelight. But you also develop thick skin and tough skin, so it ends up becoming a very like good experience.
An asset. You turn a character defect into an asset.
So this is why I always get down on myself, because I believe so wholeheartedly that whatever talent God has given me, I need to bring it multiple. I need to bring multiples back to him, right? So in life, so I never want to. This is gonna sound really morbid, and I always bring up morbid things during our podcast. I never want to die realizing I didn't try hard enough. Like that idea scares the shit out of me. That I didn't try hard enough at anything.
Do you think you've gone to that potential, or you're getting closer?
No, I haven't. There's no way.
Because I want to know what happened with ayahuasca. What happened with ayahuasca? Did it unlock something in you?
Ayahuasca unlocked in me my traumas so I could heal, so I could forgive people that seemed unforgivable. I could forgive myself for being so hard on myself. It unlocked.
I like that one even better.
And it also unlocked the ability that I have spiritual gifts. Like, life is not just about what you get. Life is about what you give people. And you reach your highest potential when you can start to give, right? You give to your family, your spouse, your friends, your community. Like that's charity, right? Charity is when you reach the highest level of love, the highest level of vibration. And I know I need to be there, and I haven't for some reason. Maybe it's the wrong timing.
Self-actualization.
Maybe it's I haven't believed in myself enough. I haven't strived hard enough, whatever it is, to reach that highest alignment where I could be like, I'm actually giving to people now. Like probably where Tony Robbins is fucking like, all he does is he's just
in the journey. Yeah,
he's
I have
there,
a pen from Tony Robbins that I bought in his seminar, and it says the purpose of living is giving. So once you get to a level of, yes, there's certain financial abundance that obviously he's got, and
of course,
and he's received, but he's always been giving. Even when he was younger and didn't have the money, because somebody gave him, somebody fed him when he was in at Thanksgiving dinner. Now he does,
so it's in his core. His core belief is to give and to be charitable
And that is the secret of all of it. Like we want to amass money, this and that, so that we can give it to our kids.
Yeah.
I grew up in single mom, Mexico, different country, and didn't have the money. Like I want to make sure that if I have children, that they don't need to worry or go to school hungry or things like that. It's all about like,
Are you gonna have kids?
We are going to start planning.
Oh yay! You and wifey want to?
Yeah.
Good.
So we both finally am in a place where we both.
It's amazing.
I want it and she wants it.
Good.
And yeah, if God wishes
amazing.
to bless us with a child, I think we're prepared. We're ready.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where, I mean, you have a daughter. What? Tell me this. I'll ask a specific question. How is it that you're able to divide your time between being a parent and running, businesses?
Okay, so I have a daughter. She's almost 5. She's turning 5 in a couple days, actually. She is amazing, and children are amazing. I actually have 2 other girls that live with me. I guess it ties into the single mom thing. My nanny has 2 daughters, so she's a single mother. And her 2 daughters are 6 and 7. They live with me too. So
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, it happened just last year, November.
So there's 3
so
little girls there.
3 little girls running around all the time. Yes.
Oh, he's outnumbered.
Yes, he
Poor
is.
Dave.
Lots of estrogen.
I'm gonna have to come into your house.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to start coming into the house and
so I
kind of
can
bring
answer
up
this on a couple levels. Obviously, I have my daughter, but I also feel like I have 2 adopted daughters now too. Children are literally the Bible verse says children are a heritage of the Lord. They're a blessing. They are a reward. And there are aspects of children that are challenging. Obviously, you have to take care of them. The dependence that they could be loud, annoying, screaming, this, that, but they bring so much vitality in life to us. If you have your life organized, that's all you really need. You just, you're abundant, you have money, you have your, good, stable relationship. Children are bringing this just crazy energy. They teach you lessons. They bring you jokes, and they bring you when you're down and out, they bring you so much innocence and love, unconditional love that you don't really experience it out in the world, right? Out in the world, people kind of have transactional relationships. I'll be around you because you bring, your fun, or I'll be around you because you
bring
have
this,
money.
you give me this.
Yeah, it's transactional. With children, it's not. They are just in love with you for being you. You just roll out of bed. You have, for me, if I roll out of bed, I have no makeup on. I feel like crap. I'm not gonna get that validation from anywhere else other than children.
She just comes in and hugs you, mommy.
Yeah,
you're
they're
beautiful.
Just, they're just sweet, and and they give you purpose too. So when you have all this money, money becomes extremely mundane and boring when you don't have a way to use it for people you care for. And I never knew before when I always wanted money. I guess everyone always kind of does. But when I was single, you all of a sudden feel fulfilled when you spend it on others. When I spend it on myself, it's fun, obviously. Oh, get get your hair done, this and that, but you don't feel fulfilled afterwards. You feel empty. Empty is not the right word. You feel like you need more. You constantly need more when you do it for yourself. When you do it for others, when you do it for others, there's a filling up of your body, filling up of your spirit, filling up of your soul. You instantly it's like when you give give people things on Christmas Day. It's you seeing people opening gifts that you thought of for them, and that they get a feeling out of it. They feel blessed and rewarded and all these things. But it's very, very sweet. My daughter prays with me, and she prays for protection over the family.
She goes to church with you?
Yeah, she does. And she
Where do you guys go?
We go to a Central in Henderson. But I study on my own. So I have
go to the crossing.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, I've always kind of studied on my own anyway, so I wouldn't say I need to be at church to be connected. I think, we can be connected just praying and on our own. But yeah, no, they're just really, they're really special.
It's amazing. Well, I mean, it has been one of those the fears and things, but
the fears do overwhelm you.
The thing that I struggle probably the most would be putting spiritual ahead of the material, and because I was so driven at first on just accumulate, or make or this, and then it does get to a point where if I actually extend the timeline and I look back where I was 10 years ago, and if you would ask 10 years ago me, hey Chava, you're gonna be here, here, and here, at age 65, would you do it? I would have signed right there. It's like, yeah, like, oh my God, that sounds like a great life.
Yeah.
Like, be a millionaire.
Yeah.
And then it was so fast tracked that I've already become the person that I wanted to be at 65, but yet still there's that conquest of continuous. So
I think it's.
I pray a lot.
Good.
I do a lot of like.
I do
now.
think that it brings a lot of purpose and value and love outside of being successful. Like, it's a perfect balance. Like, being successful is amazing because then, you know, obviously you have a good life and you can produce a good life for your children, but the having children grounds you and humbles you enough to like make it worth it and make it valuable, make it exciting, because you're like, oh, I can produce I'm gonna have children, my children are gonna have children. Like, it's a whole legacy. And
I like that. You were talking about being morbid. I think about, like, if something were to happen to me or her, like, I don't want to have kids with anybody else. Like, I just picture her, like, our DNA would make like this amazing
and they will, it really will.
person.
And it's an amazing, it actually enhances your relationship a lot. You fall more in love with them after kids because you're like, oh my God, there's a part of me, and you get to see them in someone else act that like you do or look like you do, or it's very hilarious.
Your daughters, hilarious. They're all like, do they all get together ready with you?
Yeah, they do. Yeah? They do their makeup with me. They like me to do their hair. They want to know what I like to wear. She is dying
to do that. She's like, I can't wait to have a girl. My goal with me gets ready.
Oh, she'll love it. Oh my God.
And I was like, what if it's a boy?
Daughter.
I was like, I want a boy.
You could have one of each. It'd be cool to have one of each.
So she's praying now for twins.
That'd be amazing. I'd rather just bang it out, honestly. I would have loved to have twins.
Yeah? Boy and girl?
Yeah. Oh, anything. Yeah.
Or anything, yeah.
But my husband was actually, his dad was a twin, a fraternal twin, so we thought maybe it would.
You could have. She has twin brothers.
Oh, does she?
And I come from twins, family. So like.
You do too?
Yeah.
Oh, well, here we go. You're going to have twins. Twins, 2025,
So the chances, are not small.
Oh, that's good.
But,
wow.
We've also, so.
I'd rather have two at the same time.
She says that too. She's like, let's just get both of them, a boy and a girl.
And the thing is, really, you're going to have to go through the baby phase for the first 2 years anyways. You might as well just go through it with both of them.
Which is the hardest phase, no? Cause
but once it's over, it's actually pretty fast. When you're in it, they say the days are long, but the years are fast. So, but the years really do fly. So once you're past 2 and 3 years, now you're set. You don't have to do the baby diaper thing anymore. Like, your kids are talking to you. Like, they're fun little people. They can do things.
Funny personality.
Yeah, they can like do weird shit. Like, you're gonna want to climb a mountain or ski or something, and then they could do that at age 3. They could start doing things. But,
yeah, that's gonna be super fun. So that's part of the goals. So for you,
I wish I did it sooner.
Yeah.
I wish I did it sooner. I wish I did it 2 in a row. I wish I had, because the thing is, you get.
Do you want to have another one?
I do, but the thing is, you get so overwhelmed in the moment. You talk yourself out of doing back-to-back babies because you're like, oh my God, I don't want to do this again. But it's going to be hard every time. Just get it out of the way. It's like starting a business. It's gonna be hard. The first 2 years are gonna be hard. So just put that in your mind and be like, but after that, you're golden. So you might as well just bang out the first 2 years or whatever it is. Like if you don't have twins,
might as well bang out and then bang out the 2 years.
Out, bang, and then bang it out. And then, no, it's just so funny because I wish I had done the back-to-back children, because once they're out of diapers, they're like little friends with each other, and then you don't have to do it again. And because otherwise, if you just have one, they're like, mommy, dad, and you're like, okay, go away.
We'll pray for the dog is not enough. We'll pray for first of all, a healthy baby. God's blessing.
Yes, exactly.
She's really pushing this twin thing.
Hey,
I was like,
all
girl,
power to you.
Yeah, if I can give you 2 at a time, boom, let's do this, I guess.
You'll have super dad.
Yeah, let's
super dad jeans.
Yeah, super jeans. As we wrap up, what were some of the learning lessons in 2024?
2024.
For you.
Ooh, that's a lot. You just like, everything comes into due time, so don't let this is me speaking to myself basically, don't let your passion for something die just because it's not the right timing. If God if God, the universe, your energy gave you a desire, a strong passion for something, don't give up on it, and don't suppress it, and don't distract out of it. It's still in your gut, it's still in your bones, and you need to act on it. So even if there were moments that distracted you out of it, I don't know, it could be like family trouble or money trouble, whatever, get back on it, because that horse will take you somewhere. And so I know that I need to do that too, like with the podcasting thing.
Get back into the alignment.
Get back into the rhythm of it. Talks like this just enrich my soul. And I think people are so tired of like the perfection of Instagram or some of these other apps, and now
I'm getting tired of it.
We got AI
fucking-
coming. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
But podcasting, I feel like we talk with our soul. We talk with our heart. We talk without fear of rejection or fear of like being able to just be human, you know, and say things that could be offensive, or it could be challenging, or it could be conspiratorial or whatever, but it is real. And
it's a genuine conversation.
It's real.
People get to. This is why there was a lot of podcasts, you know, during campaigns, and now Joe Rogan is like the voice, and then you have Color Daddy on the other.
Oh,
you know,
Color Daddy.
They just
Oh my God.
they just speak to a larger audience.
Yeah.
And then, you know, for 2025, as people come in, there's a lot of mental blockages and things. There's a really great book, Untethered Soul.
Oh, I love that book.
That is. Wait, I thought I put it on Do Not Disturb. I'm
Party
putting it.
fail.
Gerald, you know what? Like, they're calling me through WhatsApp. That's why.
Oh, it got through.
Yeah, I guess so, because it's definitely on that. But this Untethered Soul, this book, it helps you move and remove blockages. And there's a specific part of the book that gives me this imagery of, yeah, you can go on through life, just like you could go on through life, you know, with these issues in the back. But it's gonna be like a thorn in the shoe.
Oh yeah, it's gonna keep bothering you.
Continue bothering you, and if you don't remove it, then it's gonna start bleeding.
Yes.
And then if you don't remove it at month 2, then it's gonna
like
start
it's
being a
infected
bruise,
and shit.
then it gets infected, and then they'll chop off your
Angry.
foot, you know, like.
It's so
and
true.
it's just like, oh my God, like.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, as these blockages come in,
Yeah.
and as we're going into 2025, if someone is going through stuff, you know, do some soul searching, some deep, you know, meditation.
Definitely.
Get help, talk to another person, remove these blockages, and that's kind of.
Okay, I'll add on to that just a little bit. I agree with that fully, but just to point out what the blockages are, they're actually your own baggage, right? They're your own patterning. So don't think of a thorn as like someone else's shit that annoys you, because that's another different type of thorn. But the thorn that's really going to help you succeed abundantly is to realize this is your life, your patterns that you need to start to handle, because once you unlock that, you're kind of like golden, I feel like, don't you?
Yeah.
Working on self first, because I feel like when we get into this whole blame game, that's when we
Can't
don't-
blame anymore.
Yeah, it's
after
taking
18,
accountability.
you have to be responsible.
Mhm.
I think that's a great way to kind of end today.
Okay.
I'm so happy you came.
I know,
we got
this
to see
was
each other
fun.
again. What did we do over here? 1 hour and 13 minutes.
Wow,
There
fun.
you go.
I love podcasts.
You know
I'm
we usually do like two up and downs, but I was like, my God, the traffic was crazy.
I know. I'm surprised you can talk and drive at the same time. I'm lucky if I can drive.
This was a very calm one. Like I've had some, and then there's some people that
I'm
I've had here
surprised you
that.
pick the. Oh, by the way, that's my number 444.
Oh, there you go.
That's
It is a good
my,
number.
That's my angel number. So whenever I don't
What
know
are
if you
the
guys
odds
believe
of
in
you
this.
seeing that
I
right
know.
now?
Well, I'm telling
That's
you,
crazy.
when you are in your highest purpose, and you can actually pray for signs from the universe, from God,
Mm-hmm.
that whatever your purpose is, and you're gonna start seeing numbers that are like this. It means you're on track, right?
that align with you, yeah.
What you're in alignment right now with the things you're thinking. You could be even asking a question, looking for an answer. Like sometimes we pray and we ask for a question, we don't know the answer, and when you start looking, the universe starts showing you signs, and then we can start to be like, oh, I'm on track.
It is.
444. I saw my number. That's exciting.
Yesterday I was listening to whatever on the podcast and whatnot, and there was something that really caught my attention, and I went back to it and I screenshot it. So I always take screenshots of the time on the podcast, and the thing was my pin code.
Really?
Like my exact pin code, all the 4 digits that you would use for your pin code.
Share it with the audience.
I will not share that, but that's 1 in 9,999. I mean, think about it.
Chances.
Yes, there's 4 numbers, and then the combinations of any of those numbers moving,
Yeah.
it is so astronomically difficult.
Oh, I
and I
know.
took a screenshot because that part resonated with me, and then I looked at it, I was like, huh, that's the number that I connect to the most.
Wow. I love it.